All right, what's going on, everybody? So I have a split screen going perfect on my, yeah, that's fire, on my iPad. So I can now, I believe, see the chat as well as the Zoom session. So we're a couple minutes early here. Also, we probably want to get a better lighting system going here. Actually, that's not bad. We'll use this one. I have like one of these what is it, wall light things, LEDs that can change colors. So yeah, we'll give it a couple minutes until folks join, and then we'll get started with the tutorial. And I'll start with just some warm-ups and just improvisation type stuff. Oh, let's try this one. Maybe an octave higher? I don't know. Oh, okay. So that's not even. Oh, we're on time. Let's get it going. Let's get it. Let's get it. Princess, what's going on? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. How was the week?
Doing well. How was the week?
Weekend was good. We was able to get an extra day, so we was off
Awesome.
on. We got home on early Friday morning, so
Okay.
that extended our
Both
weekend.
Friday.
Yes, so we had Friday, Saturday, and today.
Sweet. Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna actually wait a
I'm gonna
second.
actually wait a second.
Get ready to plug in your
Get ready to
headphones.
plug in your headphones.
Yeah.
Do you also
Do
hear
you also hear
or no?
or no?
In my headsets.
Like right now, like
Right
it's
now, like it's
normal to you right now, right?
right?
No, it's like it's going in and out.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
I'll
stop
stop
first. Please
first.
plug
Please plug
in my phone.
my phone.
Pull the
Full
headphones
headphone.
because of the original sound that we have it set up as. Now it's good. Perfect. There we go.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, so let's dive right in. X and maybe Obina may or may not be on the way, but we'll dive in. And yeah, Let's actually start with some like warm ups and stuff. Usually, if it's just us two to start out with, I think it's kind of like a good opportunity to um, reinforce stuff, right, that we've kind of learned already and stuff like that. So let's start with let's see. I think we said we'll do that anyway for the first 10 minutes, just like a warm up type thing, just in general. So if I ask you to play for me A sharp major triad, what does triad mean to you as well? When I say A sharp, how many notes are you going to be playing?
Uh, try it.
Hmm.
I think it's five.
Not quite. Think about try the
Oh,
prefix.
three.
Yep, yep. So triad is another way. Like if I say A sharp major chord or A sharp major triad, those can be used interchangeably. And it means yes, the three note chord, as opposed to if I said something like an A sharp major seven. How many notes would that be?
Hmm. It's not a seven, so
Hmm.
I think that would be five.
Four note.
Four.
We're gonna add that one extra.
Look, in my mind, I said four. I said, no, it's five.
I saw you mouthing it. I was like, I saw the F letter coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the seven the reason a seven chord is a four note chord is a seven. If we talk about a major seven or a minor seven, a seven is adding the seventh interval, which is one other note, and that's what the seventh interval on top of the triad that we're going to play right now, and that's what creates the fourth note, and that's why it's called a seven chord. So we'll start with a A sharp major triad or A sharp major chord, which is your three note chord. So let's walk through, like, talk me, like, try to work through figuring it out, but also, like, talk me through what your thought process is.
It's an A sharp major.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, A, which is the black key.
Good. That's A sharp. Very good. That's the
Hmm.
starting. You got one of the
Okay.
three notes. Perfect.
Okay. It's A sharp. Nope.
So play the chord together. Play the three notes that you think it is.
No, that ain't it. A, C, and
So here's what I want you thinking about. When in doubt, and you're not sure, what the notes are, think through the formula until you get to the point where practice and you know them and you play them enough times and it's like becomes automatic. Like if I were to ask you, I don't know, a C major triad, you may know immediately that a C major triad is that because that we've played that G type thing. So when we talk about an A sharp major triad, no matter what key we're starting with, it's always going to be the same formula. And so if say for example, if as a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you try to think through this here. If you just played a C major triad, see if you can derive the formula for a major triad based on knowing what the C major triad is, which means and the formula is based on what? Half steps. So see if you can tell me how many half steps are between the first note and the second note, and then the second note and the third note. And I want you to tell me that based on counting from the first note you're starting. So like C would be one, and then two,
two.
and so on and so forth. So take a
So
moment to think through that.
I'm counting the black keys as well, right?
Yeah, because so a half step is every note, directly boom, 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 right next to each other.
Okay, so one, two, three, four, five, seven,
One, two, three, five. So
seven.
from the first note to the second note, how many was there? Half steps?
Oh, okay. So I have to count this. Okay. One, two. 8.
So that's from the first note to the last note, but I'm asking from the first note to the second note in the chord.
Oh, the second night. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 5.
Good. So let's stay right there. That's your second note in a major triad, major chord. Why don't you count 5 half steps up from A sharp for me, and see what note
Okay.
you end up on?
1, 2. D.
Correct. Now go back to E over here. How many half steps up from E to G?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. So from D, go up 4 half steps.
1, 2, 3, 4. F.
Correct. That is a A sharp major triad.
What?
Yeah, play it for me.
1, 2. He said, try it. Okay, I lost my thought already.
Good. Are you using what finger you have? One.
1, the thumb 1, 2, and 3.
So interestingly enough, to be quite honest, the 1, 2, and 3 can work for any triad realistically. Even with the C major, it can work because it feels comfortable, right? Naturally, we talk about playing it with 1, 3, 5 most of the time, but playing it
Oh,
with
1,
1,
3,
2,
5.
3 allows you to have those other fingers for other things, right? So the 7 chords, like triad, and then the 7 chord, and then a 9 chord. We don't talk about the 9 chords just yet, but just having your fingers be able to play those additional notes is going to be helpful as we get more complex chords. So A sharp major, I would play it the way I actually probably usually do play it the way that you just did. I'll play it with the 1, 2, 3. You can also play it with 1, 3, 5. You can also play it, I guess, 1, 2, 4, even though that doesn't feel as comfortable to me. So I think the most comfortable position there is what you're playing it as, 1, 2, 3. So very good, nicely done. So let's have you do this a couple more times with a few other notes, just major triads. And so let's go to F sharp.
F sharp major triad.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't know if that's correct, but
That is correct.
oh,
E
okay.
sharp
That
major
took a
triad.
wild guess.
Well, that again,
Yeah, I counted it.
there's something special about it because you got it exactly correct. All right, let's do
Oh,
the
okay.
greeting. Let's do the
What
greeting.
up?
Okay, cool. And also,
Hey, X.
Hi, princess.
there we go. Perfect. Perfect.
What's up?
Hey, princess.
Yeah, you got
I am so jealous of you right now
why?
because you're playing that song and I'm like going, I'm just stuck at do 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 do. That's all I got.
Look. So I low key forgot like that whole second half of it, and when I was in the studio with Akil, he was like he just like when I was just naming the chord, he was like this, and he just played it, and I was like, yeah. What's that chord?
Wow.
How you play that again? And then once he like played it, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember.
Nice.
And then I
Wow.
sat there.
Akil. Some,
Lila's boyfriend.
okay. Oh, so he's clearly a musician as well.
Oh yeah, he's cold, bro. Like the beat that we made a track. Um,
Dope.
so him and Lila made a record, and yeah. He plays keys, he plays drums, he plays
That's
bass.
dope. That's fire. Did he also go to what did he go to Morehouse?
Yeah,
Fire. That's cool,
yeah,
man. Very cool.
yeah. That's why I was late because I literally just walked in the house.
Oh, you just came from there a minute
I
ago.
literally like
Really?
I left like I was like, what time is it? They were like, oh, it's like 7:30. I was like, bro, I gotta go. because I'm like, it's gonna take me at least like 20 minutes to get home. So
Word.
yeah, I had to get home and then set everything up, and my iPad's dead. Well, it's charging; it's on 6%. So I'm gonna be back and forth. Like, if you ask me to play something, I gotta plug my stuff in and then like play it real quick and then bounce it back to the charger. So.
No doubt, no doubt. So one thing I wanted to share with you guys, I'm gonna create. I know we probably talked about this a while ago, but now I just feel more motivated to do so, and it just makes a lot of sense to do it. But I'm gonna create a either Google Sheet or a Notion doc, but a living document that is gonna, the way I'm envisioning it, it's gonna be artist name, artist song title, and then the chords in order of the song that we're working on. And I'll probably have the date in there too, like maybe, I don't know, the first week that we started working on it. Whether it's like one session or multiple or whatever, that part I'll kind of like figure out and stuff. But just basically having that be somewhere that's like pinned on Patreon so that we can just always reference it, and it's not necessarily going to Ultimate Guitar tabs and having to remember the name and search for it. It's like just right there. So that's something that I'm gonna kind of start working on this week, and we're gonna start with the song that we left off on actually last session, which was not last Sunday, but it was last Tuesday, I think. X
The Tyler joint.
The Tyler joint. Yep. So we're
okay. You know what's crazy about that? I told Akil about it, and they pulled up the chords, and he just started playing it like that. It was crazy.
So he's nasty with it. He doesn't play. He hasn't played it. He's able to see.
Like he's seen it. He was just like when even so like for instance like when I played the first chord, I was like in the Justin Timberlake. He was like, oh yeah, that's a whatever chord it is. What is it? G minor 9. He was just calling them out. He was just like G minor 9. Looking at my hand, and he was like, okay, that's this one. He was like, okay. And then this one, he was like, oh yeah, that's a C minor 11. I'm like, bruh. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I wish that was that good.
Man, what?
A couple things with that. Well, first of all, hearing the chords and being able to identify them versus him seeing them. Him seeing them, it's something I'm sure he's like practiced and like learned and honed over an extended period of time. So either of you, anyone, in my opinion, can do that, right, with enough practice and stuff. When it comes to, and not at all obvious, maybe it needs to be said, not downplaying, right? It's like something that takes a lot of practice, just like anything that's like seemingly challenging to do. But when you think about like playing the chord, hearing it, and someone being able to be like, you know, there was one dude on an episode of Chord Master Keys a while ago who has perfect pitch. That's perfect pitch. I know people who have relative pitch. I've had that conversation, but this guy, I was able to just play some chords or play whatever, and he tells me immediately like what the notes are and what the chord is and stuff like that, which was absolutely fascinating to me. That is something that I believe you can't learn. I don't think perfect pitch or even relative pitch. I think these are things that you're kind of born with, from my understanding. But in any case, yeah, we're going to start with Tyler's song today. The way that we talked about doing this we started doing it last time, was me playing the chord and then you kind of leaning on you guys to help me. I mean, not help me, but you know, like basically tell me what work together to figure out what the chord names are. And then by the end, like by tomorrow or so, I'll have that sheet up so we can you guys can practice it throughout the week. So we're going to start off right now with the first part of the song, that just so you guys can hear it, that sounds like this. So we're going to start with just that. So if we even simplify it down, the chords are this, and then this. So we're going to start with the first one, and we're going to go to X to start off with. And we'll even just do one hand for now as well to simplify it. So, if I even, no, I don't. Boom. Yeah. So you got the chords, right? So
yeah, I just heard you play it.
Yep. You talk about other people nasty. Look at you, man.
Hey, my ears are good. Now, if you ask me, what chord is this?
Yeah, which is awesome. That's a skill set there. But yes,
But
we're
yeah, see, this is where we ran it. This is where I ran in trouble last time. But this looks like a normal 7 chord, so I'm gonna say it's a B flat major 7.
B flat major. So pause for a sec, Princess. First three notes in this chord. First three notes in this chord that I'm playing are A
It's
sharp.
the A
You and I.
sharp,
Yep. And then what?
A sharp major 7, a minor.
So
No, we just did it just now.
we did this, didn't we, Princess?
Yeah.
But we're playing this now with the D
Oh,
flat
Oh, it's damn it, it's minor.
minor, right?
minor.
Yeah,
So
it's
Princess and
B
I, before
flat.
you
It's
joined
it's B
X,
flat
we
minor
were
7.
there. You go. Yeah, we were looking at this major triad, A sharp or B flat major triad, and indeed this is a B flat minor 7. Why is it a minor? Because this is a minor triad and this is a minor 7. Why is this a minor 7, Princess? This is
Because
2 half steps lower than
it's
what?
two steps, half steps lower than A, the A,
The A sharp or B
sharp.
flat?
Yeah.
So another way to think of that, 2 half steps lower than the root. That tells us that it's a minor. So B flat minor 7. Now we jump to this other chord, and we discussed last week that when we're playing these 4 note
Can,
chords, we are
sorry,
not.
can you
Go
play the
ahead.
chord one more time? Just
The
play it
chord right here.
one more time. Okay.
We're not looking at the first note in a chord and automatically thinking about it being the root of the chord, right? That's not always the case because of what, Princess? What's the I word that we learned that helps us realize that what I just said, which is that the first note is not always the root. What's this I word?
The I word is not
Not out, but
in in
It's a
in
intervals.
intervals.
not even
Intervals?
in.
Not easy. She
Oh,
said
inversions. Ha, my
no,
bad.
inversions,
My
Uh-huh.
bad.
inversions.
I ain't even.
See?
We both off. My
Dang.
bad. I tried to help you, and I fell off the cliff with you. My bad.
So we
All
both
good.
fell off the.
Yeah, one band, one sound.
Instead of confidence too, right?
Yeah. If we're gonna be wrong, we're gonna be wrong together.
That's
Damn it.
it. Hey, yeah, I'm not mad at that. So yeah,
Inversions.
inversions are what allows us to change the order of notes that are being played in a chord, and the way that we can determine, like just for simplicity, the way that we can look at a chord, a 7 chord, and have a pretty good insight as to whether it is an inversion or not is when we have actually, let me pause. I think X knows this because we talked about it. X, what is the way that we can determine if a chord, a 7 chord, is an inversion or not? What's a good way to see that?
Uh, a good way to tell if it's an
Yeah.
inversion.
From
Uh,
like spacing of the note.
if notes are close to each other, like 2 notes are kind of close to each other.
Exactly. So if
Um,
they're either directly next to each other or if they're one
The
note in between
same.
them.
Okay.
Right. When I say one note, meaning not like a C major triad where, oh, this has one note. I'm talking one actual note, like one, like, right, C to E does not have one note in between. It has 3 notes in between, right? But say, I don't know,
C to D.
has one note in between, right? One has one note in between. So when we look at this next chord, we're playing this. Between what 2 notes, Princess, out of this chord is there one note in between, right? And the notes that we're playing, of course, are B flat, D flat, E flat, and G. Which 2
The
notes have
D.
one note in between?
Uh, the I guess it would be a C sharp, and it's a D that's right there, the white key.
Sure. The D is, yeah, maybe that's even a better question. What note is surrounded by just by the two notes or whatever? But yes, indeed, the D flat and the E flat, right? So this tells me that we are talking about an inversion, most likely. Not always the case. Why not always the case? Because there are other types of chords that have, I was gonna say funky spacing. That's not the word, but just that have a different spacing than what we are more used to seeing. Those chords are augmented chords or diminished chords or flat five chords and these types of like ones that are a little bit different, offshoots. So this is the moment that we ask ourselves, how do we effectively turn this into the root of the chord so we can better see what chord that we're talking about? Well, the way that we do it is we kind of look at these two different parts. I kind of look at this as like this is one part and this is another part. And I'm going to lift up this first part and I'm going to move this first part over here an octave higher and then play the same thing. Let me do it again. This is the first part. This is the second part. I'm going to lift this first part up, move it an octave higher, and play them all together. And then we have this chord. Now this looks and sounds like a standard 7 chord. X, what chord is this?
I'm trying to get the notes.
Starting on D sharp.
Play again. It is. Hold on. It'll be easier, I think. 1 second.
Take your time. Princess, you could think it through as well.
I don't like that one.
Yeah. It's like,
You saying what chord is it?
yep.
E. I want to say E flat major 7,
Okay. 7 I heard. X, what do you think?
or E sharp major 7.
It's gotta be E flat. E flat. E flat minor 7.
So both of you guys are wrong, but that's okay. Because you're both almost right. Okay? You're both almost right, but you're both wrong. So Princess said major 7. So this chord is a major triad.
Major.
So major 7, maybe. Okay. But this is
it's a flat 6. It's a flat 6.
no,
Is that
that's
flat
what we
6?
did last week. And it wasn't that.
Damn it.
It was something else. What was it? This is a
A dominant.
7 dominant. There you go. So a minor 7 over a major triad is a dominant 7 chord. Now I just was inspired to think about doing this really quick. So we know that with 7 chords, we are typically talking about a major 7, a minor 7, or a dominant 7. Those are the 3 most common ones that we see and that we hear. Major, minor,
Major, minor, and dominant. Okay.
And so what I want to do is I want to take a moment to work with both of you guys in your and being able to hear the difference between these chords and be able to, like, I would love for you guys to get to the point where we play this chord, you hear this and you're like, oh, I hear the major part and then I hear the tense uncomfortable parts or jazzy or whatever you want, however you want to categorize it. I hear that this is not a major 7 or a minor 7, and you can hear it being a dominant 7, and that's something that's oral, and it takes time, practice, and things like that. But I want to start. I'm going to start with like working with you guys on this. So I think what we'll do is for sure. I'm going to turn my camera off here. Okay. So now you guys cannot see what I'm playing, right? You can't see what's being played. You can only hear. All right. And you have a nice little advertisement for my KMAT tutoring business. If anyone needs math lessons or English or anything like that. All right. So here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to play either a major, minor, or dominant 7 chord. And actually, I'm going to start right now playing each of them on C. I'm going to play a major and tell you that it's a major. I'm going to play a minor, tell you it's a minor, and then a dominant so you guys can hear it. Here we go. Major, C major 7. Again, C major 7. C minor 7. Again, C minor 7. Princess, what was the last chord again? The third one that I have to play now?
Dominant.
Oh, okay. C dominant 7.
It sounds like the same chord.
It does sound similar. It's only one note different. I'm gonna go back and forth between the C minor and the C dominant. C minor 7. C dominant 7.
Oh, okay.
Right?
How do you play the dominant again?
Dominant. How do you play it? Dominant is played by playing a major
Never
triad
mind. I figured
and
it
a
out.
minor 7. Got it?
No, maybe.
So
Is it 6?
that's
Talking
dominant.
about, huh?
That where you play is a dominant 7.
So, okay, explain it again.
Major triad, minor 7. What is a minor 7? That's lower than octave.
A half step lower than the octave?
2 half steps lower for a minor
I was
7.
about to say that doesn't make sense. See, I would have thought it as like a flat 6, even though I know that's not right, but that's how I would have thought of it to go.
Well,
You know, because major,
of
minor, and then dominant.
flat 6, you said. So flat 6 is not a thing. Flat 5 is a thing.
Oh.
If you play like a C major 7, flat 5, that's playing a C major 7.
Oh, okay. I confused myself. Never mind.
Yeah, okay. All right, so let's go through this. I think this will be an exercise to kind of see if
Okay,
you guys
yeah,
are able to hear the difference. And perhaps, you know what? We'll start level 1 and then we'll go to level 2, right? Level 1 is just going to be major and minor 7 chords. All right, let's go. VA suburb of Richmond. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine. All right, so here we go. So G, I'm just gonna say that this is a G chord I'm playing first. And let's go with this first. And this is gonna be X. What chord is this? Is it major 7 or minor 7?
Play again. Sounds major to me.
Okay. Princess, do you agree?
Yeah. Because it got that higher
No,
at the end. So
it's
I
wrong,
think
though.
Confidence in yourself, man. Well, you know what? All right. So the answer is correct. Good. Both of you guys got that right. That's indeed a G major. Now, when we play minor, I'm gonna play the minor 7 right after of the same note of the same root. So there's major 7. Here's minor 7. If I play both of those, and you're like, oh yeah, that's definitely minor compared to major. Like you can, or hopefully you can hear that main difference. Major to minor. All right, let's do another one. Let's go. Say that again, Princess.
It sounds like the minor is a tad bit lower than the major. The major
Lower.
sounds a little higher.
Sure.
Higher,
Yeah. That's a good way of thinking about it. Because lower means there are 2 notes that go a half step lower from a major to a minor 7. So the 3rd and the 7 are both moved down a little bit. So yeah, some of the notes are shifted over a little bit to the left. So yeah, that's why it would sound a little bit lower. All right, let's go.
Dominant?
Say that once more.
Can you play the G dominant?
Sure. Yeah. So G dominant 7, I know, is the only dominant 7 chord. Is the only dominant 7 chord that is played with all white keys. It's played like the C major 7. Oh, maybe what I'm talking about is this one. So C major 7 is here, but if you play a G, the same fingering and same spacing of the notes, that is a dominant 7. But let's continue with just going through like several of these, kind of like rapid fire or something. All right, so next is going to be, let's see. Let's do this one. So, Princess, what is this? This is
Minor.
a D chord, by the way. You said
D minor.
D minor. X, do you agree or disagree? D minor? Oh, you
Sorry. One more time. Say it one more time. Play it one more time. That's what I meant.
Sure. Yeah, is this D minor?
I don't know. I don't know.
Think about it. And listen to it, and let me know.
Let's go with minor because I don't hear the high note.
Okay.
I don't hear.
And you know this. Let's do this. Let's do this kind of.
No, it's major. It's major.
That is a major. And also, I don't want you playing it either. I want you only listening. But yes, indeed, it is.
I figure. I was thinking of it. I was looking at the keyboard, thinking like, I don't hear this note. That's what I was. This is the note I was looking for.
Okay.
So when I'm listening to sevens, I'm normally listening to the highest note.
Okay.
So when I heard that, I was thinking I think that's major. I know you don't want us playing it, but I was like, I think that's major.
No, all good. Indeed, it is a major. Princess, I'm going to play the minor of that now. So again, D major 7, and this is D minor 7.
Okay.
Cool. Let's see. Let's do another one. X. This is an F sharp.
Major.
Major. Yep. Good. Here's a minor. Right. Let's do another. Princess.
That's sound like a minor.
X without plan. Agreed or disagree?
I originally thought it was minor too.
So this is what I'm going to do. For whether you're right or wrong, I'm going to drop the 7 and just play the triad and then see if your answer is still the same, if you still think the same. So now dropping the 7 gives us this. Is that a major or minor chord?
Sounds like a minor.
X?
Play it again. I mean, I think it's major because then it's like if you make it minor, it's gonna have that. Yeah, see, I'm off, but yeah.
Major. That was indeed, or not indeed. That was a major, and this is the minor. So the major 7 that was played was
Major.
and a minor 7. Okay. And don't worry that you guys are getting some of these wrong. Like this is just one of these things where the more you listen to it, hopefully.
Ear training.
Exactly. That's exactly what this is. So there's no way that you're gonna know these at all until you actually go through some of these exercises.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, let's do another one. Let's go. Okay, call your horses.
Do it again. Look, do it again.
All right. Here we go. Let's do this one. X.
Minor.
Princess, agreed or disagree?
I agree. Minor.
Right. And this
Major's
is
gonna be. Major.
Yep.
Major. Minor.
Good. Yep.
Throw some
Cool.
dominance in here.
Y'all ready for? Oh, we ready for Dom? Oh, I was waiting. I was waiting to throw
Oh,
some
see,
stuff in
see,
there.
oh,
All
see,
right.
you wrong for that. He said play some dominance.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look, yeah,
Yeah.
throw some
look at you.
dominance in there.
He said throw some dominance in there.
Throw
Okay.
Hey
some
man, I
dominance.
mean,
Mm-mm.
look, I'm 3 for like 10 right now, so we might as well just keep it up. My percentage ain't shit, so we might...
All right. So you want this one is for you. This is a C.
One more time.
Let's play the notes
So
too.
it's not major.
It's a dominant.
Wait, play it again. Let's go with minor. I don't know if you did a dominant yet. I don't know if you're going straight to dominance or
Why would I do a dominant right away when
right,
I mean, come on. What is
right,
that, right?
right. I'm gonna go
Okay,
minor.
so
I'm gonna go minor.
Princess, you agree or disagree?
minor.
Yeah, I'm going minor.
Yeah, minor.
Minor,
Minor.
major,
Major.
minor.
Minor. That's that ugly chord, dominant.
Ugly. That is a beautiful chord, but yeah.
I mean,
You know,
I guess I'm hearing that last.
Mm-hmm.
but if you play the G dominant 7, that one's pretty. I like that one.
Wait, just that one and not the other dominants, even though they're all the same sounding or same sounding, different.
No, I just know this. I had played that one and I was just like, oh, that one sounds cool. Like I felt like I could do something with that one versus the other ones.
Gotcha. All right.
Like
Let's do it.
that sounds familiar to me.
That's a dominant 7.
Maybe not.
Uh-uh.
No.
You're playing E for the last note, right?
Yeah.
That is. Let's talk about that. That's a 6. That's a 6 chord. Yeah, because so dominant 7 is gonna have an F natural.
F natural.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Because remember, whole step lower than root.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then never mind, princess. I agree.
But that's nice though.
Yeah. G6 is nice.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Let's do. Princess. Oh, this is an A.
A minor.
Minor.
Major. No. A major.
A major 7. X. What do you think?
I think it's A dominant 7.
Okay, A dominant 7. So let's see. I'm gonna play a different one of the other ones of this chord. Let's go with Princess. What's that?
Minor.
That's minor. So if this is minor,
The other one
and
is
this we didn't play yet. X. What's this?
Major.
Major. And
that's the
D
dominant.
is the dominant. Yep.
Yeah, I'm starting to hear what you're talking about, like the major with the minor on top.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I'm starting to get it.
Yeah. I mean that's exactly what it is. It's a major. It's like it's basically trying to separate these notes in your head. We know I'm closing my eyes. I'm kind of imagining this. We know that I'm playing 4 notes. we know that the bottom three notes are a major or minor triad. So we're trying to like, what do we just do? A? We're trying to like think of this as essentially, turn the camera off for a sec. We're trying to think of this as like, yeah, like hearing this and hearing this. These are the two different things that create this. So hearing this, and naturally, if we hear a major or minor triad, we have to kind of know, we have to be comfortable knowing what a major and minor triad sound like, and perhaps maybe even next week as a warm up or something. That is also a fundamental building block for what we're doing right now, right? So like if you don't hear the difference between a major and a minor triad, then it's of course going to be very difficult to add that extra layer on there. But once you do hear that and you're comfortable with that, then just like X was saying, like we want to be able to hear this triad as one piece over here, and then separating in our brain the lowest and highest note together and hearing a major versus a minor seven. And what's the difference between a major and minor seven? Well, this is a major seven, and that's a minor seven. Maybe that's, well, I'm trying to think if that's even it. Let's do a little bit of that as well. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or not, but I think that might be a good idea to do some two note major versus minor seven intervals. So let's turn the camera back off and let's go with X for this one. So X, is this a major or minor seven interval? Or maybe before you answer that, maybe what might be good is to play both of them. I'm going to play one first, and then I'm going to play the next one, and you tell me, like, say, major seven, and then minor seven, or vice versa. So this is one I'm playing here, and then this is the other one. Which one of those is the major seven? The first one, or the second? First one. Indeed, that's a major seven. And also, the other note, the other one that we're playing is lower, so that's sort of what you should be listening to, right? Clearly the lower one is going to be the minor. Good job, X. All right, so Princess, how about you? Let's go here. Which one of these between the first and the second is the minor seven?
Major and minor. That's how I'm hearing it. So major
first and then minor.
And minor second.
X, agreed or disagree?
One more time.
This first one and the second one.
I think it's minor major. I think it's the other way.
Indeed, because I'm taking up this.
Oh, I got confused. See, I'm like going. I'm in my head going.
So
Like,
this is what you need to be able to hear. Is I'm taking the C out and I'm just playing the note, the seven note. So we know that one of these notes is lower than the, or not. I don't know if we know it, but like we should hear that this first note is a lower note.
That's high. That's the lower note? Oh,
yeah,
I don't know
it's
why
half
I'm thinking
step
that was
lower.
a higher note.
Half step. So this is a B flat and this is a B. Right? So we're going in that direction, right? That type of thing. So, all right, let's pause. That is some good sound, training. Air training, yeah, to kind of give us a chance to just get comfortable for, I think we were...
Yeah, I think you also just put me on to just like 6 chords because I'm definitely going to use them. Normally, I go with 7, but the 6 chords sound good. Like I think I was playing like a... Oh, well, I didn't play it with the A. I think I played it. And then I was just like, that chord is pretty. But I'm playing, instead of A in the bass, I'm playing F sharp.
What you're doing? F sharp with the bass, and you're playing. What notes were you playing with the right? What 6 chord were you playing?
A6.
Okay.
A major 6. Yeah.
That's what this. That's this. This what you were doing, right?
Yep. Yep.
And you're F
Over
sharp.
F sharp.
Doing over F sharp. Yeah, sure. That sounds good for sure.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
And then I was gonna go down and then go to G6 with G in the bass.
okay. So F sharp to G G6 is what? Like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where to go after that, but it sounds pretty.
Figure out where to go after that. So the way I would think about where to go after that is like I would think about the bass and like where
Yeah.
do you right?
Yeah, see, I'm hearing the E or
E.
yeah, E after at the bass. That's what I'm hearing.
It can be really anything, right? It can be that. It can be whatever direction you want to go in, right? But let's go with E and let's ask ourselves, like, okay, are we just playing 6 chords here? Are we going with A? And then, or to me, what I would do is I would look at this and be like, all right, we're already playing an E with the right hand, so maybe we could figure out some, like for me, I would think about all of our E chords that we know, which are
It would
major.
be E minor. It's got to be E minor.
Okay, and try them out. So, okay, so you're hearing an E minor.
E major didn't work.
Oh,
It has to be.
So minor. Well, okay, so let me pause for a second here. You said it has to be E minor. So what's interesting to me is check.
Well, that's
this
where
out.
my ear hurt. That's where my ear hurt.
No,
Go
no.
ahead.
And this is. I was just looking. I'm like, wait a second, E minor. I'm like, all right. So let's. Actually, I'm sorry. I gotta turn this back on. So if we went from A6 over F to G, and then we were like, okay, the next one is this, and we're trying to play E minor. I looked at my right hand. I'm like, wait a second. Aren't we already playing an E minor, just inverted? Tell me if that's true or not. If I'm playing a G6, isn't that just an E minor 7? Or no?
No, you can, yeah, it is. No, it literally is. It literally is.
Right? First inversion.
It literally is first inversion, yes.
Right? So you could either, so to me, I would think like, all right, well, I can go from here to here. You can do that. It's a different chord. Why is it a different chord? Because we're playing it over E. Before we were playing it over what? Over G?
Yeah.
So that makes this a G6, as you said, and that makes this the E minor 7. Because of that note in the bass is what gives us the declaration that this is the root of this chord. You're playing this with a bass guitar player or whatever. He or she is playing that, and that gives us that that sort of foundation. So that's kind of what it is. But let's also, before we even move to something else, I'm kind of like, all right. I'm like, what would that sound like with a different E chord for the last one? So we did. That sounds like that sounds like that's what it's supposed to be. But if we played, say, an E, that's an E minor. Did you say E major? You said E minor 7, I think last time, right? So that's an E major 7, for example. What does that sound like, right? Whoops. We did this, and then we're talking about this. See, that doesn't sound like that's where it needs to end. That can happen, but then to me, there needs to be something else that happens after that. If you were just doing those 3 chords, then it ends on that E minor 7 like perfectly. But that E major 7 is just one of those things where it's like it's not what you expect to hear, like the Tyler, we talk about Tyler chords and stuff, right? It's not what you expect to hear. It's something different. You can do it. You can do whatever you want to. There's no rules,
Yeah.
for what's played, as long as it sounds nice to you. That's my, my 2 cents, right? If it sounds good to you, then there's a very good chance that it will sound good to others as well. And I'm standing by that. All right.
It's pretty. It just made that just it just made sense. But go ahead, sorry.
For sure. No, you're good. And these are the types of tangents, for lack of a better word, that I think are very important in these lessons to go on. So whenever there's anything creative, that sparks. I think one time, quite a while ago, X and I were doing I think it was just us two in the lesson that one time, maybe, I don't know, several months ago, and we were just doing something like this. We were kind of going through and just figuring some creative stuff out, as opposed to the academic side of learning, which I think both are definitely important and fun. All right, so that being said, we determined that this chord here is the E flat dominant 7, right? So E flat dominant 7, and so the next chord is here, Princess. We're playing G sharp, C, D sharp, G. So we're playing these. So what chord is that? That's a 7 chord. You have 3 options. First of all, from looking at the spacing of these notes, does this appear to be a chord in root position, or does it appear to be a chord that's inverted?
Looks like it doesn't look like it's inverted to me.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like the fingering, everything looks like it's spaced out like a normal 7 chord. Now, we have to figure out what kind of 7 chord this is. So there's 3 options. So we can either go with our ear, we can go with the formula, we can do a few different things. We could, to me, what I would do is I would say, let's look at the 7 first. The 7 is the first and last note that we're playing here. Is this a major or a minor 7? A major 7, for recap, is a half step lower than root. Minor 7 is 2 half steps lower than root. How many half steps is this G lower than the root?
How many half steps?
Well, if you take the root and go up an octave, okay? Go up an octave from the root. So play it over here. How many half steps lower is that last note? Yep. You play them. What is that? How many half steps?
I need to count, right?
No, because you're here and here. How far are these? These are 1 half.
These
the root an octave higher, which is G, which is
an octave,
and the last note in the chord, which is a G natural.
G natural, right?
These are
so it's a
one. This is 1 half step down, isn't it?
One half step down. Yeah, going this way. Yeah, 1 half step down.
So that tells us that this is a major 7. If this last note was here,
Major 7.
this would be 2 half steps down from G sharp. 1, 2 versus 1. So that tells us that this is a major 7, which means that it almost definitely has to be a major 7 chord, because the minor 7 interval introduces a minor 7 chord or a dominant 7 chord. It can be either. We'd have to look at the triad to see. But in this case, it is indeed a major 7. So, B flat minor 7, E flat dominant 7, and then G sharp major 7. Again, flat minor 7, E flat dominant 7, G sharp major 7. That is the first chord progression. And then it goes a little. Oh, 5% battery remaining. I got distracted, sorry. Alright, I don't remember the rest. I got distracted because something just popped up on my phone. That's called an excuse. But what we're gonna do is I'm going to make that sheet, and like I said, I'm gonna pin it on Patreon, and my vision is to just have this really nice, clear, clean database that's easy to look at and get inspired from, and it just shows us our progress. And maybe even if I want to take it a step further, I even include a hyperlink to the YouTube live session where we worked on said song, which could be a good idea. I'll have to think about that. It's not that hard to do, but just an extra step. But
what you were talking about today definitely taught me some new shit for sure. I don't know how I got here, but yeah, it taught me some shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like it did.
Shared today. No, that post.
Created something over there. You done cooked up something.
Man, what?
I like how that sounds.
I don't know where else to go after that.
It sounds like it should go. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I got stuck because I have no idea what I'm playing except for the G major 7. That's the only chord I know I'm playing.
So can you maybe record just let that be our original point for next session? Because maybe, or even in the one-on-one that we do on Tuesday night, or we can even do it next week. Either way, but
the first chord came from something that you were talking about. That's where I got stuck. But it's like the first chord is like it's G sharp, A sharp, C, and then D sharp.
Wait, G sharp, A, and D. Oh yes,
with C with G sharp at the bass.
And then it goes where?
Then it goes to F, G sharp, C, and D sharp. With a D sharp in your bass.
Yeah, dude,
that chord is beautiful. I don't know what the hell that is, but that nice. Shit is pretty.
Let's go a little overtime here. So you went. So this first chord is. Let's figure out what chord this is actually. This looks like I would take this an octave higher. I want to figure this out right now, actually. Oh. So take this last note. Take this last note in that first chord and an octave lower. The flat. Say it again.
Go ahead, Princess. What is it?
Okay, look. Oh, wait.
Oh, she was figuring something else out.
Okay, I'm trying. Dun, dun. After the F right here, then go right here.
You're talking about the fourth, the next chord in the progression.
The last chord.
Yeah. So what? Hold on. So what's this first chord? Because like when I move the highest note down an octave.
Yep. So let's space it out this way so that it's a little bit more. Okay. So to me, this is a six. Now this lowest and highest note becomes a six interval. Okay, this is a six, and I'm gonna have to research this, but from what I'm seeing here and what I'm hearing, if we played that same thing, let me see, that's a dominant seven. This is a six. So yeah, I would just need to look at between this. This is a six. This is a E flat six. But what you're playing is up a half step. So it's to me it's like a E flat augmented six. But is that even a chord? I don't know. I have to like look at that. But this is because this is an E flat augmented right here. That's an E flat. I'm sorry. Sus four. This is an E flat sus four right here. Okay, E flat sus four, and this is an E flat six interval. So to me, this is an E flat sus4 6 chord, but I don't think that's even a chord. I have to see what that means when they're together. Does that make sense? Either way, that's beautiful sounding. So you were like, what'd you play on the bass? You played E flat? No,
No,
G.
no. The first one is G sharp,
Then F.
and then the second chord is F, G sharp, C, and C, and then D sharp with the D sharp in the bass.
Yeah. That's
That was the second, and then there's a third.
Yeah, and then it goes up to in the bass it goes to the F sharp, and then it's just F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and F.
Yeah. So let's just say this. So like what you just did, because you know muted yourself, and you're like you have an inspiration, and you're like figuring some stuff out.
Yeah, you said some shit, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's like you just came up with this just now, dude, and there's like that's what this is kind of all about, like using what we learn here to come up with your own stuff that you could now turn into whatever you want it to become. So that's mad inspiring to me. I love that. So I encourage both of you guys, you know, to experiment, you know, with your own stuff based on the stuff that we're learning. And let that be like the fun, really fun aspect. That's like really really cool. So now, yeah, I'm feeling motivated and inspired. You guys did awesome today, and I hope y'all have a great rest of the night. And I'll look forward to catching you guys next week. X, I'll see you in a couple of days. Princess, I'll see you next week, God willing. And hope you guys have a good rest of your evening.
all right.
Peace.
See you later.
Alrighty.